Okay, hi everybody. So, this is going to be a mental health update. Since talking to you guys last about mental health, a lot has changed. I kind of talked overall about mental health, but I kind of want to tell you what's happened between the last time I talked to you to now. So, I'm not sure if you guys know, but I have depression and anxiety and PTSD. Those were before I made this video. Until a couple months ago, I guess, I had three major things. Major depression, anxiety, not really that bad compared to some people, but it was there. And I took meds for it. And PTSD, from my parents. And I felt like personally that all those three things fit me. But I kind of felt like there was something more. Like, for a while, I thought I was autistic because I showed some of the symptoms, but the doctor said I wasn't. And my mom, for a while, thought I was bipolar, but I wasn't really because I had a couple bipolar friends, and I wasn't really bipolar. But I just always felt like there was this missing piece that I didn't have. Like, people always said, I also had NOS, mood disorder not otherwise specified. I was like, why can't they specify it? They specified all these, there's like dozens of diagnoses out there. Why can't they just give me a diagnosis? And I'm a kind of person who loves labels. Most people hate labels. But I just love labels. I don't know. I like having something to call myself. I like everything in its place. I'm not OCD-like, but I just like labels. So it kind of really bothered me that I didn't have a label, but I was like, okay, fine, I'm just depressed, I'm nothing, and I just thought it was just me. But I turned 18 in early October, like the 4th of October, and I was diagnosed with this new diagnosis, which I will tell you in a second. It probably wasn't even in November. Like, it was so quick. And this diagnosis, they cannot legally diagnose anybody under 18. And this diagnosis is borderline personality disorder. It has a lot of stigma, borderline personality disorder, but basically what it is me. I mean, I can't really describe it, like, for one, it runs in families, and it's mostly women who have it. And it has to do with so many things. That's why it's kind of hard to say that you have it. One major thing is people don't have friends. And I've never had friends. I think I've talked to you about this before. And I've really never had friends, and that's kind of why I thought I was autistic. Because autistic kids don't really have friends. Well, so do borderlines, because they have a hard time making relationships. Borderlines also act out the same way I do, because I am one, but yeah. And there's so many other things which I'll get into, but this is just me saying I'm borderline. So when I first heard it, I was shocked. I mean, I'd heard it before. My mom has it. Like I said, it runs in families. But I was just like, when one of my therapists, because I have two right now, she told me she was like 99% sure I had it. I was shocked. I was like, first I was in denial. And I can see why I was in denial. Like, I didn't know any of the facts. I mean, I didn't know what borderline was. All I knew was my mom had it. One person I came across on YouTube had it. And they kind of acted like me, but I just wasn't that because nobody had told me throughout my years of having mental illnesses. And I was first diagnosed with depression when I was 12. So I've kind of been through this road for a good 6 years. So I was just confused. So I think, so that was in school. So I think right before that, right before I left the classroom, I texted my mom and told her. And, cause then I had to go see my dad. And I wanted to tell my mom first because she had it and her and I were very close. So my dad picked me up from school and he ended up very conveniently, I think, yeah, he drove me to my therapist because it was Friday or whatever. So I told him, and he didn't seem really surprised. And so then I went to my therapist's office, my other one, because I have two. And this one that I went to, I've known her since I was 6 years old, literally. Like, I've been seeing her since she was in college. So I saw her and I told her what the other therapist said and asked her if she thought it was true. Like, that I really did have BPD. And she said, yeah, she thought I had it since I was 12 years old. And my eyes went big. I was very confused at that point. I'm like, and she told me some of the symptoms, and we looked and saw how many I had. And you have to have, as of now, you have to have 6 out of 8 of the symptoms, I think. Yeah, 6 out of 8 of the symptoms. So 80% of the symptoms. I had 7. Well, it's actually kind of confusing because some people think I have 7, some people think I have 6. Either one, I have it. And so, yeah, so, I was really realizing it, and I talked to my mom when I got home, because then my dad drove me home, and by now I was saying, okay, I have this thing. And my mom and I talked, and she knew I had it since I was 9. And I'm by this point, I'm oh my gosh, I really do have this thing. So yes, so I have BPD. That's the long story of me finding out. Nothing's really changed that much since I found out. My therapist is working with me with CBT and DBT, just workbooks and stuff. And I am currently trying to find a DBT program. I always wanted to get into a DBT program, but it was mostly for borderlines. Now that I'm borderline, it makes even more sense for me to go. And now that I'm 18, it will be easier to get into a good program. So, yeah, so right now my therapist is writing a letter to them to ask them to accept me. And I'll be put on the waiting list after that, so it'll be a while. But hopefully not that long. But yeah, so that's that story of me realizing I'm borderline personality disorder. And so I think I'm going to make a lot more videos about this, and I might start actually a writing blog, but I'm not sure. So yeah, so this video has already gone longer than it probably should have. So I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.